everybody, welcome to Off the Vine. I'm your host, Kaitlyn Bristowe. Vaginas, that's what we're talking about today. I've got Lo Bosworth on the pod. Half the population has one. Let's talk about them. We talk about her starting her own brand, what you need to know, and where you can get started. Enjoy.
How many shows are you recording today?
Just
like
two.
Bajillion?
No, I had 4 yesterday.
Holy shit.
Yeah, and then 2 today. So, honestly, I was at the end of yesterday.
Yeah.
I was like, and then I had to go to a dinner and I felt like I was a zombie. And then, like I said earlier, I come alive at night. And then I got my second one right when I was trying to go to bed. And I was like, no. But I got a little sleep in this morning. I feel very energized and good. Yeah. I'll probably crash again after this because that's what I do. But
4 is just so much for your brain to handle. Oh my God.
There's just something about talking for 4 hours.
It's exhausting.
That's exhausting.
Yeah.
But I also get exhausted very easily. Like, I was telling somebody, I don't know what it is about sitting on a plane to go to somewhere that's like an hour time difference. I'm like, I'm exhausted. Like, what was I doing? Just sitting?
I know. I think I don't know what it is, but I completely agree with you. I get exhausted too, but I've also had COVID 4 times.
Have you had COVID 4 times?
Yes.
I just took a test this morning, and just because I like to take tests, I woke up this morning, I was like, it's either the AC in here, or COVID. And so I took a test. Negative.
Thank God.
Yeah. I wouldn't be here. No. And it was as soon as I got up and drank water, I was fine. And then I took the test. I was like, oh, it was clear. Do you ever stay in AC and the air conditioning just like attacks your throat?
You know, I have my air conditioner on year round in my bedroom. So like.
You like to be chilly when you sleep.
Yeah, 66.
66?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm like a 72 toaster strudel.
Oh, I hate that. No.
I love being cozy and warm. And that would make me not want to get out of bed.
I think.
Because I'd want to stay in the covers.
You know how in, what country is it where they like leave their babies in their little strollers on the sidewalks outside restaurants in the cold?
What?
It might be a Danish tradition or something.
What?
Where, like, the cold helps the baby sleep, and it actually has been proven that a cold environment helps you fall asleep and stay asleep.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Oh, maybe I should try it.
Yeah. My mother also used to like put us in like full flannel pajamas, flannel sheets, flannel everything growing up.
Sweat it out.
I used to just fry at night. So now I've gone the exact
You're like, it's like a resentment thing for you. You're like,
no,
yeah, I'm going to sleep in the cold.
I grew up sleeping so hot. Now I need to freeze.
Oh, gosh. Well, thank you for coming on the pod again. It's nice to see you again. I ran into you last time I was in New York.
Yeah, you guys were at that restaurant.
I forget what it's called, but it's delicious.
Delicious fish.
Delicious. Like,
yeah.
Amazing cocktails. The food was insane.
No, it was good.
I really enjoyed that spot.
I can't remember the name of it. I think that was the first time we've met, but I've like obviously followed you for so long and like have high awareness of you. But
was that? Oh, because we did over Zoom. And then I met you at that restaurant. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
You're right.
So I think that was our first time.
God, I love in-person interviews.
Meeting.
I love in-person is just superior to the rest. I'm so sick of Zooms. And then last time you were on the pod, we talked about how you started Love Wellness and all of that. And you were suffering from anxiety, depression, and chronic yeast infections, which nobody has time for. Yeah, it sounds gross. That's, like calling it a yeast infection just sounds gross.
Terrible name.
But it happens all the time to people. And you were like, what is going on in my body?
Yeah, I guess this was when I first started the company. I mean, sort of the origin foundational story of the business. Yeah.
Yes. So what have you learned that you think all women should know about their vagina?
So
you're like, a lot. Where do I start?
So with Love Wellness, we're on year 7, year 8 of the business now.
Yeah. Congratulations. That's amazing.
Thank you. Oh my God. It's been a wild ride.
Yes, I bet.
I'm finally taking a short vacation next week.
Good for you. Where are you going?
London, just for a couple of days. Yeah.
Do it. I love that for you.
Yeah, for my birthday, because we didn't do we did all work travel this summer.
Yes.
But so when I first started the company, it's because I had a whole host of health issues. I'm like a sickly Victorian woman. Like, I've had COVID 4 times. I had mono. I had a TBI. A door fell on my head. Like, I just...
What?
Oh my God. In 2019, a heavy ass door in a restaurant came off its hinges and fell on my head.
You've got to be kidding me.
Yes. And I had the worst concussion, and now I'm very forgetful.
Oh no. You're like long-term COVID and a door
so
falling
if I
on your
lose
head?
my train of thought mid-sentence, just remind me.
At least you have an excuse, because that happens to me and I don't have any excuses. So I'll help you out though.
But yeah, when I started the company, I was dealing with all these health issues, and saw doctors for almost 18 months before I had any sort of like concrete data that I could go off of in terms of test results, things that actually showed something was wrong inside my body. Because when I was really unwell, it was like depression, anxiety, UTIs, yeast infections, kind of like you said. And it took me 18 months for a doctor to even run a blood panel for me. You know, I went to the doctor over and over again, and they're like, you're just stressed. Yeah. You're just like, you need to sleep more. Like, here's some Prozac. Yeah. And I was like, okay. I'm going to try all these things, right? But as a woman, you really have to advocate for yourself. And finally, I got, because I think they were sick of seeing me in their waiting room. Good. Visit so 7, they're like, let's do a blood test. Give
the girl a blood panel.
Yeah, and it turns out I was suffering from some really severe vitamin deficiencies. And it took me a while longer to kind of understand how that had happened. But at first, when those results came back, at least I had a starting point, and I felt less like I was being gaslit by myself, you know, because I think you start to wonder at a certain point. You're like, am I making this up? Right. Like, is
it in my head? Because the brain is a powerful thing, and it really can trick you sometimes.
Completely. Yeah. And anyway, once I had that information, I was able to go back to different doctors and do my own research and understand that I think a lot of my issues, like at the baseline level, were being caused by a major gut health problem, which is very typical for people of our age. Like we were the antibiotic generation. We grew up taking antibiotics many times a year. And of course, antibiotics are incredible, but life-saving. But you know, they don't discriminate when it comes to bacteria, right?
No, they wipe out all bacteria, right?
All. Yeah. And so, you know, like we grew up the antibiotic generation, taking ibuprofen and things like over-the-counter pain medication, alcohol, preservatives, sugar. Like there's so many things that can cause gut dysbiosis, or like, you know, disruption of your gut microbiome, which can lead to having it be way harder for your body to absorb nutrients. And it also can lead to things like leaky gut, which can cause depression, anxiety, also supported by those vitamin deficiencies. The vitamin deficiencies I had, like, were directly tied to the neurological symptoms that I was experiencing, which is pretty spooky. And then the gut and the vagina are also connected on the same axis. So the brain, gut, vagina live on the same axis. The gut influences the brain and the vagina. And when it comes to the gut, your gut microbiome, if it's in good shape, it basically... Like, we like to describe it at Love Wellness as like the bacteria like text each other from the vagina to the tummy. And like the gut bacteria, if they're doing well, they can influence the behavior of the vaginal microbiome, either positively or negatively. Right. So if your gut health is in bad shape, it's likely that you may experience, you know, a breakdown in like the immunity of your vagina as an immunity organ. Because the vagina is actually an immunity organ, if you think about it. Like, you have your vaginal microbiome, which dictates or determines your vaginal pH levels, your vaginal pH to be acidic, because an acidic pH or environment helps prevent the overgrowth of, like, bad bacteria, yeast, pathogens, right? Protects you from bad stuff. And so, like, if your gut health is out of whack, your vaginal health could be out of whack, and it could lead you down a road of chronic infections. It could be yeast infections, BV, UTIs. Like, it's all the same kind of area and bacteria. So anyway, once I had that information, I was like, wow. My doctors finally started to point me in the right direction. They were like, why don't you try probiotics? Why don't you try boric acid suppositories? But it really took so much self-advocacy for me to figure out and put the puzzle pieces together. And that was really frustrating for me.
No kidding.
But the experience did show me that there was a huge opportunity in women's wellness, a huge white space opportunity from a product innovation standpoint and from a brand standpoint, right? When I started the company in 2016, it was the early days of like Glossier and Casper, right? Like consumer brands with a capital B were really in their early heyday. And so I thought, can I make a women's wellness brand that tackles or like turns some of these things that we have been embarrassed by that are stigmatized into just routine, like into a wellness routine, right? And can we like address these things head on and get ahead of them and work to actively prevent these things from happening through, you know, the wellness routine that we put out versus having to just be reactionary to these things.
It's crazy because we have been like there's been so much shame around stuff that happens with the vagina that nobody has talked to us about. Like, I remember having to ask my sister, like, why does stuff come out? Like, what is this? And she was like, it's called discharge. Ew. And I was like, why is that? Like, why is this happening? I thought I was the only one it happened to. Should we really be ashamed of the snail trail? We should
get Dr. Horton on here to talk about vaginal discharge, but I'll do my best.
So, and that's the doctor you work with for
one
your company.
One of our medical experts. Yes. Yeah, she's an amazing OBGYN. So it changes over the course of your month depending on your hormones. Yeah. So like the consistency changes. But basically like what comes out of you is just like your body's natural cleansing mechanism. Yeah. It's like dead skin cells and stuff just like being sent out of the body.
All right, there's so many sleep hacks out there. They say noise machines, no snacking at night, yoga before bed, mouth tape. You get where I'm going. It's hard to know which hack to try. I mean, I do have a few. Instead of trying them all, just listen to me on the ones that I do because I've become a professional sleeper. You can immediately transform your sleep with the comfiest sheets out there from Boll and Branch. And if you don't believe me that sheets make a difference, I challenge you to get some of these. When I put these sheets on my bed the first night, I felt the quality immediately. The sheets are buttery and breathable. And when I'm comfy, I instantly feel more relaxed, which truly helps anybody sleep better. Boll and Branch signature sheets are the perfect way to start upgrading your sleep. They're made with the finest 100% organic cotton and are completely free from toxins. And don't just take it from me, guys. There's over 11,000 5-star reviews. And I love how there's a 30-night worry-free guarantee, so you can wash, style, sleep in the sheets for an entire month. And if you don't love them, you can send them right back. I don't think you will, but there is that option. And for me, I became fully obsessed. I ordered their blankets, duvets, even some fluffy pillows. I think I even got a robe. So start sleeping better with the softest, most breathable bedding from Boll and Branch. Get 15% off your first set of sheets plus free shipping when you use promo code VINE15 at bollandbranch.com. That's Boll and Branch, BOLL and AND branch.com, promo code VINE15. Exclusions apply. See sites for details.
You have this stuff like on your website, right? Like how,
What I love about the brand is that we give you the education that you didn't actually learn in school.
Exactly.
And a lot of what we're sharing has been, you know, discovered in the past like 10, 15, 20 years. Yeah. Like women's research is so far behind when you compare it to research surrounding men's sexual wellness and health.
Right.
And you know, when I started the company, nobody was talking about vaginal probiotics and like the benefit of that. Mm-hmm. People didn't even know what I was talking about.
They're like, I eat yogurt, I'm good.
Yeah. And so, you know, sort of consumer understanding has changed dramatically, you know, in the last 10 years when it comes to subject matter. But I mean, really, like I had like maybe 30 minutes of sex ed in school.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Same.
Right. And like
it was like one day they were like, we're doing this today.
Correct. It's
and
like
that was it.
Pregnancy and STDs.
Yeah.
Like that's it.
Yeah.
They don't actually teach you how your body works. Mm-mm. And so we're left in the dark.
They still don't.
They still don't. And you have to, if you want really good guidance from your doctors, you already have to be well researched and well read to come in armed with questions and like have kind
otherwise
of
how would you know?
Exactly, like and have a general understanding of kind of at least how you feel and what's going on to be able to like ask the right questions.
Why do you think we are so reactive when it comes to women's health?
I think it's because we have been taught since day one that, you know, these are your private parts. Like this is your private business. And,
yeah, that's true.
You know what I mean?
That's true.
It's like between you and your doctor. At least now I think women's issues are more of a conversation within a community of women.
Yeah.
You know, we have come that far where more women I see are comfortable talking about these things to each other.
Yes, totally.
But it didn't used to be that way.
No.
When I started the company, I was like, am I the only person on the planet having these problems? I wasn't armed with consumer research, right? You know, it was my first time starting a company.
Yeah, you're like, is this even going to be a thing?
Exactly.
Or is it just me?
I had no idea.
Yeah.
You know, I was like, is this just me? And if so, sad. Yeah. But it turns out like, it wasn't just me.
It can't be. And you're like, oh, wait, it's probably like.
It's probably everybody.
I was going to say, it's probably 100% of women either need knowledge feel shame, have something going on in their body that they're unsure about, questions about like certain things that you've, again, never learned about in school. And now we can finally start talking about it as women together.
Yeah, I mean, we just launched in Walmart. So if that tells you anything, it should tell you a lot about like the state of the category and where we're at.
That's cool. Walmart.
Yeah.
Nice.
Vagina is going super mainstream.
Yes. I love it. I mean, that's why we're here talking about it today.
Yeah.
I think it's great. And like you said about advocating so hard for yourself, it takes like 102 doctor's appointments to even confirm that I found out I have PMDD. And that was never like, even still, I had to go through a few doctors to find that out.
Yeah.
Women's health is fascinating to me in general, but especially when you're dealing with something like that people have found such a taboo topic around. Do you have PCOS or PMDD or no?
I mean, I get like bad PMS sometimes.
Yeah.
You know, there has historically for me, like when I was experiencing really bad depression and anxiety, like my PMS was really, really bad.
Yeah.
But I feel like it like fluctuates, you know, depending on overall health.
What do you do? Do you have any self-care routines or practices that you do in that time that you find helpful?
Yeah, I mean, we actually make a great product at Love Wellness that we make specifically for PMS.
Yeah.
But there are a lot of natural ingredients that have been clinically studied that support and ease the symptoms of PMS and PMDD.
Yes.
And so Mood Pills is one of those products that has like organic chasteberry root in it, you know, which is like a miracle ingredient for women's bodies. Ashwagandha, which is a great adaptogen, things like that. St. John's wort, which, you know, is for some people, not for everybody. But, you know, medicine comes from plants, right? Like the prescriptions that we get are like the chemical forms for the most part of like plants. And so it like, I don't think it takes a ton of brain power to make the connection that you can look to the earth for, you know, ingredients from nature to help support your body, right?
Yeah.
Like you are what you eat,
right?
Truly, at the end of the day. And I think when it comes to PMS and that time of the month too, just, I mean, I'm PMSing right now and I just did an interview with somebody and I was like, you know, I'm PMSing. I'm just going to get the bagel. Like I know the gluten kind of me up, but like I'm just gonna eat it anyway because I want it. It's about balance, right? And she was like, me too, I'm getting the bagel too.
Perfect. We're in this together.
Yes, we're in this together now. But I mean, PMS, like God, like I've started to look at other people who exercise differently throughout their cycles and I've started to adopt that practice.
Yes.
Like,
do you notice a difference?
This week I'm so tired and I started running a couple of months ago.
Oh, good for you.
Like jogging really slowly. Let's call it what it is.
Yeah, jogging slowly. That's what I do when I run. Yes, yeah.
Jogging. I'm the slowest jogger on the West Side Highway.
Like, hey, you know what? You're out there.
Passes me.
No shame in your slow jog game.
But I was like, this week, I was like looking at my, I don't know, period tracker and I was like, oh, it makes sense why I'm so exhausted. Yeah. It's the week before my period. Yeah. And like, should I be out there running 6 miles? Right. Probably not.
Absolutely not.
You know what I mean?
I don't even do that on a, you know, when I'm not PMSing.
Yeah. I think like exercising according to your cycle has definitely helped.
Yeah.
And like just getting enough rest and listening to your body. And like, if you're in a bad mood, that's okay. Like,
totally.
Just be in a bad mood.
Be in a bad mood.
It's fine. You don't have to like squash those feelings.
Don't bury it. Just be in your bad mood.
Be in your bad mood.
I feel like when I ask people like, how are you doing? And they give me an honest answer, like, oh, I'm actually having such a bad day or this happened to me. But I'm like, thank you. I love when people can be honest about that kind of thing.
You should move to New York, girl.
Yeah, seriously. That's true. I'm in the South.
Will tell you they're having a bad day than a good day here in New York City.
I'm literally in the South where everybody's just like, oh, bless your heart. And they like, their hair is done to go to the grocery store. And it's just, everybody's happy-go-lucky and everything's great and perfect.
Everyone's happy all the time.
Like,
yeah, no.
Remind me if do you have a medical background or you just have done so much research on your own?
No, I'm just a hyper nerd. I mean, I wish that I was a doctor. If I could go back and do my life over again, I would have gone to medical school and, you know, be practicing. But I just have a deep interest in the subject matter. And
you're very hands-on.
Have done a bunch of research. Yeah. I mean, I have always led our product innovation at Love Wellness from day one and continue to do so. I hired a new CEO in March. I was the CEO for the last 7 years. and was like, okay, we need a real career CEO now.
Right.
I was like, I don't know how to manage 40 people.
Seriously. The managing people is the hardest part.
It's so hard.
Yeah.
It's so hard. And
Yeah.
like, you've never done it before. You're a first-time founder. How are you supposed to develop talent?
Right.
Like when you have not done that yourself,
Yeah.
right? Like you are developing as an individual within your own company. How are you supposed to manage the development of like a young UX designer,
Right.
like when you don't know how to do that,
Right.
right? So bringing in that CEO was critical, and it's given me so much more time and like energy back so that I can focus on innovation, on marketing,
Yes.
on like the brand and who we are and what we want to communicate.
That's awesome.
Right.
So do you have like a brand slogan?
Love yourself well,
Yes,
which takes
love it.
on a couple of meanings. Next year we're doing a big rebrand, which I'm really excited
Oh,
about.
that's awesome.
Yeah, we're like, can I talk about this, Hannah?
Yeah.
Meg's
you
gonna
can.
kill me.
Get people excited. I love it.
Yeah, we're coming out with a rebrand next year with like updated like color systems so that people can better shop the brand and understand what
cool.
products for what categories
Yeah.
and things like that. So we're really excited for sort of like the next
Yes,
phase.
I love the growing and evolving as a brand, and I'm
It's
all
so
for a
fun.
revamp. Yes, it
Yeah.
is so fun. There's so many people out there that want to build a brand and that are looking to have their own business. And what do you think your biggest learning lesson has been through all of this?
Yeah, I would say that one of the things that I think is really challenging for business owners right now is just, and this is like kind of high level and it's not super personal advice, but it's important advice,
Mm-hmm.
is that the economy is in a really challenging place right now.
Mhm.
Like a recession is real. It's really hard to raise money. And I think that there has been such a bubble built around consumer brands. There are so many consumer
Yeah.
brands that have
Mhm.
launched in the past couple of years. And we're seeing that bubble burst. Like
Mhm.
it's like a tech bubble that like goes bust, right? You know what I mean? You're like seeing a bunch of companies go under,
Yeah.
a bunch of companies being sold left and right.
Yeah.
And it's because D2C is an old business model now.
Yep.
You know, you can start as a digitally native business, but you have to be omni-channel to be
Mhm.
profitable or even be close to profitable, because to acquire a customer on the internet now is so expensive
Yeah.
versus the heyday of 2019,
Yeah.
you know, where you could get like a 7 ROAS like
Yes.
on an ad.
Yes.
It's not like that anymore.
No.
For any D2C business.
Yeah.
It is really hard to be digitally native. And so I would think really hard about starting any kind of consumer brand in the next probably 2 to 3 years, because we're seeing so many brands be really challenged just because generally, you know, the state of the economy,
Mhm.
which is like a big nerd answer.
No, I actually love that
But,
answer
like,
because
that's like what I really think. And I have seen
I wanted the
trends
big nerd
change
answer. Yeah.
as my business has like grown and developed over time. You know, like we're not immune to the trends,
Right.
you know what I mean, and to the changes.
Yeah.
And so it's like what's happening around you is really relevant.
Yeah. No, that's actually really great advice. And
so don't quit your job
So
and
do-
go start a nail polish company.
Yeah.
Is my advice.
not right now, anyways.
Not right now.
Right now is
Not
not
right
the
now.
time to do it. What do you think your like ultimate goal is for the brand?
I think international distribution would
Yeah.
be a really wonderful goal.
Yeah.
We have affected so much positive change here in the United States, and we're only distributed in the US.
Mhm.
Because vitamins, cosmetics, like once you go international, you are subject to a whole different governing body, rules, regulations, label requirements. And so we just don't have the team size and bandwidth
Right.
to be like, guess what? We're launching in, 10 European countries,
Yeah.
and our labels are now in French and German and
Right.
whatever.
Yeah. That's
It's a lot.
That's a lot.
Right? Like there's enough to kind of do at home for now. But ultimately, if we could be an international brand, I think that would be just so amazing.
I think, well, I always want people to dream the biggest they could possibly dream. So that sounds like, if you're putting it out there and you believe in it, it can happen.
We're going to do it, Kate.
You're going to do it. It's going to be in French and German, and it's going to be international, and you're going to be an international sensation businesswoman. You are a businesswoman. Owning a business, I know, can be super demanding.
Yeah.
So what does your like day-to-day look like? How do you balance? I don't even know if I believe in balance, but how do you do like life and work? How do you manage that?
So we're in the office 3 days a week. Our
Mhm.
team is in New York. we kept our Monday, Friday work from home schedule, but we've been back in the office since the beginning of 2021.
Nice.
And I think it's really helped our team. It's really helped me as an individual, because if I don't have some place to get up and be during the day, that's like when my isolation tendencies start to set in, and like I get depressed and lonely, right? Like when you're home all day by yourself. So I actually love going to work, but I have a really healthy work-life balance, and it's something that culturally is just a part of who we are at Love Wellness. Like we work like 9:30 to 5:30.
Yeah.
Like you don't need to work on the weekends.
Right.
Like you don't need to do so much all the time. And I think we really try to practice what we preach, right? Like we're a health and wellness brand, and to be well, you have to have time for yourself. You can't just be going all the time. That leads to burnout. That leads to health problems, disease, illness. Like take a nap, man.
Yeah. Okay. I will after this.
I am great at like leaving at 5 and going for a little run or a jog and taking a tub and going to bed by like 9:30.
Good for you.
I'm good at that.
My gosh. I wish. I'm glad you have that balance, because
I mean, if truly think about what a luxury it is to be able to go to bed.
Yeah.
For any person, whether you're single, partnered, a mom, a not, right?
Yeah.
Being able to go to sleep is like such a luxury. And so if you have the ability to do it more often or with greater frequency, like do it.
It's the little things you got to be grateful for in life. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Which to some people, that would be a really big thing.
All right, say hello to your real life makeup filter in a bottle, CoverGirl's Simply Ageless Skin Perfector Essence. Now, this product gives me the radiant bare skin filter effect that should be everyone's must-have makeup essential. I'm literally going to get ready for a dinner after this. It's going to be the first thing I put on my skin. All you have to do is start by blending the formula with your favorite makeup brush to activate the tinted micro droplets, and your skin is moisturized for up to 24 hours. Okay, you can wear it alone or use it as a primer under your favorite foundation. I do both, but honestly, the sky's the limit of what you can do with this product. I've noticed a lot of changes too for the better with my skin, like the texture, the overall complexion and firmness, and even helps with little fine lines and wrinkles. Could not recommend it more. 10 out of 10. You can get the Simply Ageless Skin Perfector Essence only from, say it with me now, Easy Breezy Beautiful CoverGirl. Okay, I know you're probably juggling a million, trillion, billion things while tuning into this podcast. Maybe you're driving, cleaning, squeezing in a workout, whatever you're doing. If you're not behind the wheel, there's something productive that you can do right now, and that's get an auto quote from Progressive Insurance. It's super convenient, and it could end up saving you some serious cash, all from the comfort of your phone. Now, switching to Progressive could mean saving some serious cash, plus they offer a ton of discounts, like savings for insuring multiple vehicles or being a homeowner. All you need to do is visit Progressive's website to get a quote with all the coverages that you want, like comprehensive and collision coverage or personal injury protection. And then you're going to see Progressive's rate and their tool provide options from the other companies all lined up right in front of you, ready to compare. So it's simple to choose the rate and coverages that you like. Just like how off the vine, we kind of keep you company whenever you need it, wherever you need it. Progressive is there with you 24/7, ensuring you're covered no matter what life throws your way. So why not make the most of your multitasking skills, you little go-getter? Head over to progressive.com and get a quote now, joining the over 28 million drivers who trust Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Comparison rates not available in all states or situations, and prices vary based on how you buy.
You obviously are known from Laguna Beach, the hills. Do you feel like that helped you with your growth, or do you think that you had to prove yourself more in that industry because of it?
I think both.
Yeah.
And this is a question I get a lot.
Damn it. Try to be original.
No, it's okay. It continues to evolve as time passes.
Yeah,
my
totally.
feelings on it continue to change. So it's actually, whenever I get the question, it's actually kind of fresh. every
Okay.
time I
Oh,
answer.
good.
So, when I launched the company, I had initial immediate success because I had an audience on social media, which came from being on television.
Right.
So to be in a position of privilege where you can communicate with hundreds of thousands of people what you're feeling or your experience is a mighty one. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so for me, being able to launch with that type of platform and network was incredibly beneficial. I think what was challenging was why should I take you low seriously in this position, right? Like, you're not a doctor.
Right.
Like, you haven't operated a consumer brand before. Like, why you? And the reality is that if you have a deep enough passion for something, like, you can learn enough about it to make it happen. And ultimately, I never wanted my long-term career to be in entertainment. It was always something that kind of made me uncomfortable. And so I was always trying to seek out for myself an alternative, right? And again, I started to share my story, and it's quite an authentic one. And once I started to do that, I think because the conversations were being had for kind of the first time, like not a lot of people at that time were like talking about vaginal health or urinary tract health or gut health or whatever, that it was really easy for a big portion of my audience to identify because they were going through the exact same thing.
Yes.
And it was like the light bulb went off for people. And they were like, holy shit. Like,
because it's one thing if you're just trying to sell a product. It's another if you can speak to it from personal experience and something that you've been suffering from and found ways to help yourself. And here's what it is.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know?
And I think, that authenticity factor, is a huge part of why we were successful out of the gate and continue to be successful. Also, the products work really well. So the innovation is incredibly effective and like husband validated. And, like, our products work. You know what I mean? And they're like game changers in the category. And so I think that was also a huge relief for people. Like, if you keep getting UTIs or BV or whatever, you're like at your wit's end. You will try anything to like solve your problem, right? And so it doesn't matter if somebody who owns a business that was on a reality show owns that business. Like, you will try it, and if it works, like, amazing.
And then you're going to tell your friends, and then you've now built this community of women who can talk about these things. And I always talk about how community is one of the most important things when building a brand. And,
absolutely.
And I think that is such an important community to have of women that can talk to other women about things you never learned about your bodies, about not feeling shame, about what works for you. Try this out. And and again, your website has so much information on it and good resources. So what is that love wellness community like? Are they just like a bunch of vulnerable women who come together and talk about vaginas? What is it?
It's evolved over time.
Yeah.
I think for people initially, it was like really a place of discovery where these conversations, like I said, were being had for the first time. And I think we have a lot of people that sort of participate in community, but we also have like a big silent community of people that still don't want to like leave a comment on an Instagram post talking about their body, which I completely understand, right? We've never asked people to like shout about this from the rooftops. You know what I mean? Like, you are as comfortable with it as you are, right? So I think that there's like a big contingent of people who are just there for the education and absorb the information and consume the products. And then there's definitely a group that is much more vocal about how helpful and life-changing the brand has been for them. And both are incredibly important and valid.
Totally.
You know what I mean?
Yes, you're right. And where can people kind of keep up with the community if they want to be a part of it?
I would say our social channels for sure. We have always wanted to build like a true community platform. And we've like had sort of like beta tests of that here and there. But I would say our social channels and even like the reviews on our website is like where you see a lot of community building happening. People ask questions, other customers respond. Like, you can find a lot of information in the reviews products on lovewellness.com, which is really, really interesting.
I love that because I feel like there's so many women maybe listening right now that
Joe's Upside.
Oh, that's so nice. My friend sent that.
It's from Joe's.
That's so nice.
I was like, is it Joe's or Upside? Sorry, a pizza got delivered.
Yeah, I literally was just like, is that pizza? I haven't eaten anything today, and I'm so excited.
PMS lady over here. I'm like, pizza.
Yeah, please help yourself after this. It's for everybody. It's for everybody. Oh, I cannot wait. My stomach just went.
I just had a bagel. I'm actually full.
Oh, okay. Well, take a slice for the road. Take a slice for the road.
A pizza from Joe's show up.
I'm very excited about that. Wow. So for like women that are listening that have questions, do you guys have like a team that they can reach out to? Or
we have a major customer service piece of the business.
Yes.
And like we would die without our CX team.
Yes.
It's is it maybe 8 full-time people now that manage our CX team, and a great VP of CX. And not only are they responsible for customer inquiries, but they're also responsible for a huge portion of the education on the website. So we have like different tools on the website where you can go ask it a question and probably find your answer without having to actually reach out to somebody on our CX team. But if you can't, like the team is absolutely amazing.
Because I feel like a lot of people might get overwhelmed with what they don't know. So if you don't know where to start. Yeah, exactly. So you have people that can obviously help them with that.
Yeah, absolutely. And we do that a lot. Some of the like most frequent inquiries we get are, where do I start?
Yeah.
Whether it's because somebody just loves the brand from afar and they like don't really have major health issues that they're trying to address.
Yeah.
So then they really don't know where to start. They just know that they like the brand and they want to try a product.
Right.
And there's definitely like day-to-day products that we absolutely recommend. Like Bye Bye Bloat is a great one that anybody can take.
I use Bye Bye Bloat. Yeah.
Like, take some before you eat your pizza.
Yeah, I should.
And then people that do have more serious issues that are much more specific, right? You know, like I keep getting like infections over and over again. And like, I know what to do to treat the infection, but do you have something that can be preventative long term?
Right.
And then we can point you in the right direction.
Because it's probably hard for you to, like, people always ask me what, out of all my wine brands, like which wine is my favorite, the red, the rosé. And I'm like, I don't even know how to answer that. It depends on my mood. It depends on the weather. It depends on the day. It depends on like what, you know.
Totally.
Do you have a favorite product, or is it kind of the same? Like it depends on what I need in that day?
It kind of depends on what I need. But I mean, I consistently take our Good Girl probiotics and Healthy V vitamin. Those are daily.
Yeah.
And I take them every single day. They're really preventative for infections of all kinds. But then Bye Bye Bloat and Sparkle Fiber are my sort of like touch up ones that I go to just for bloating, whether it's food related or it's water weight from PMS, or Sparkle Fiber just if you're like, oh my God, why haven't I pooped in 3 days?
Yeah. So the Sparkle Fiber, literally, how fast does it go through you?
Oh, it's not like
it's not like a
it's not a
it's
danger.
not like a
It's not like
the flat tummy tea
No,
pills where you're
oh
just
my
like have
God.
to go shit your pants for.
No,
Yeah,
I was thinking. Do you remember like when ballerina tea was a thing? A few years
No.
ago? I think it's the same as a flat tummy tea.
Where it
I
just
think
makes you
it's the same.
shit.
Where like in an hour you like violently have to go to the bathroom. No. Oh
Yeah,
my God,
this is
no.
the healthy way to do it.
This is just a couple increased grams of fiber.
Yeah, okay.
But I would say like by the next day, like you probably can go to the bathroom.
Yeah,
It's gentle. It's like not horrific.
See,
in
that's
any
what
way, shape, or form.
That's what it should be. Gentle. I do really use the Bye Bye Bloat all the time. It's
amazing.
so good. It's so good.
It's the best.
Okay, I just want to know a couple quick things that you can't live without.
Okay.
I don't know why I like these games so much, but I always like learning about people with this. So shout out to Stacy. She's one of our listeners.
Hi, Stacy.
She had this game idea. So I have a list of categories, and you tell me one thing you can't live without. So what is like a food you cannot live without?
Pizza.
Yeah. God, you live in New York. You get the best pizza of all time.
So lucky.
Okay, who's a person you can't live without?
My sweet dear mother.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's nice.
Both of my parents.
Yeah. Oh, that's nice.
Ma and Pa.
Ma and Pa. That's sweet. What app can you not live without?
What app can I not live without? Well, now that I'm a runner, the Strava app. I love the Strava app.
Okay.
Like tracks your like runs and things
Did
like
you,
that.
when you started running, were you like, I hate this, and then you started getting that runner's high?
I
Or
ran
have you
cross
always
country in high
Oh,
school,
wow.
so I've
Okay.
always loved running.
Okay.
But it's because for me, I go at a pace that works for my body, and I am able to just zone out.
Yeah.
So I don't physically struggle during it.
Yeah.
I don't force myself to struggle.
Yeah.
And then it's totally pleasurable.
God, I can't do it. Every time I try and run, I want to run so bad, and every time I try, my hip joints, where my butt like connects to my hip on the side, it like turns into a rock and is so painful, and I cannot run.
Oh no.
I know. And I really want to run.
Slow jog. We can go on a slow jog tomorrow.
I've tried slow jogging. I will slow you down from your slow jog. I swear. I want to do
a brisk walk.
Wait, have you heard of the workout? Oh shoot, I'm blanking on it. It's like a dance. You dance, but it's also like spiritual. But there's sometimes
the class
they incorporate.
by Taryn Toomey?
No.
I
Dang, I forget what it's called.
I'm gonna need more specifics.
I'll text you once I think about it because it's amazing. Okay, what skincare can you not live without?
Definitely SPF at this
That's
point.
me. Yeah.
Yes.
Especially outside running.
Myself in sunscreen every
Yeah.
day. Yeah.
Okay, that's good. I always tell people vitamin C, moisturizer, and a sunscreen.
I've been a big sunscreen girl since I was 15.
Good for you. Damn it.
Yeah.
Well, you grew up in California where
My
you
mom
probably
was like,
had to learn.
You need to sit in the shade and you need to wear sunscreen. And thank goodness, she
God, that's
provided me
amazing.
with that knowledge at a young age.
My mom was like, "You want a tanning bed in the house? I'll use it too." We're like in Canada, like freezing cold. Okay, what clothing can you not live without?
I love anything from the Frankie shop.
Oh, yes. My girlfriend who lives here
Yeah,
told me all about this place.
it's great.
Can you order online?
They have it on Net-a-Porter, and they have their own website.
They do? Okay.
They just have the most amazing trousers, like, kind of like chic downtown work gear.
Yes.
But that's like, it's very
Is it true to
flattering.
size? I always need to ask that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Everything is a little, well, most of the pieces are purposefully oversized.
Okay. So you can do true. Because I always, when I'm online shopping, I'm always like, what is it?
Yeah.
What about your favorite beverage?
Just water, girl.
Oh.
Just water.
I wish that was me. What's a show you can't live without?
Show I can't live without. I think old school Sex and the City.
Yeah.
The
People
original.
tell me about this. Yeah.
Have you never seen?
No. I know.
What? Girl,
I
just white noise in the background.
But that's Grey's Anatomy for me.
That's okay. You can try another.
I tried Sex and the City and I found the first season to be weird.
That was season 1.
I know. Okay, so should I start with season 2?
No, you should start again with season 1,
Oh.
but like get a few episodes into season 1
Okay.
because when the show first started, it was very much like this episode is about this thing, and then the next episode is totally different.
Yeah.
And it continues that way throughout the entire run, but then the stories start to develop on top of each other.
Yes.
So you should. Oh, it hurts me for you.
I
that
know.
you
That's
are
usually
not a
people's
Sex and the
reactions.
City girl.
I know. People, that's usually their reaction for me is they can't believe it. I don't know
mean,
what it is.
You'll find deep.
My sister's obsessed. I took her on the Sex and the City tour in New York, and I was like, okay, maybe I should. This is a thing. People are into it.
Yeah.
I got to
What
go to
about
Carrie's
Friends?
apartment.
What about Friends?
Oh,
I'm
I
also
could
a
t-
big
I could-
Friends girl.
I could reenact every Friends episode.
I run by the
ever.
Friends apartment every day.
You do?
Yeah.
I took my
It's on my
girlfriend there
run.
last time I was in New York. Yeah, I know every episode of Friends. Friends is my church.
What's
Grey's
your
Anatomy.
favorite Friends episode?
The one with Ross doing the sound when he's on the keyboard.
Oh, yeah.
Or Phoebe running. I love that one. What's yours?
Ross, when he's stuck in the leather pants in the
Yes,
bathroom.
of course, that one too. Ross to me is everybody. This is so controversial, but Ross is my favorite friend.
Oh, I love Ross.
I love him. He's insane.
Ross is who I want to marry.
Really?
Yeah.
See, people get mad at me for that because they
Why?
think he's like sexist and like
Oh, God.
doesn't treat
Friends was
women.
on like 35 years ago.
Yeah.
Come on, guys. Get real.
Yeah, exactly. You can't hold that against
Like,
Ross.
don't hold it against
Can't
him.
hold it against Ross. And
The
like,
times were different.
remember Ross got hot like recently? Like I feel like when he was
Ross
filmed.
was always a handsome
Okay,
man.
I
but,
agree.
You know,
Why am I trying? I'm trying to plead my case with somebody who's on the same page
yeah,
as
like
me.
we're on the same team.
Okay, I believe you. So tell everybody where they can go to find all this information. I know you said the socials, but like specifically.
Yeah, so lovewellness.com is your best starting point,
Yeah.
whether it's education or products. We're at Love Wellness on all the social channels, and you can find us in store at Ulta, at Target, at Walmart, and we're also on Amazon.
That is huge. Congratulations
Thank
on all of
you.
that. I mean, it just goes to show, obviously, you're working so hard. You've got such a good team, but it's definitely something that needs to be talked about and shared. And I'm excited for people to listen to this episode.
Thanks. Me
Yeah.
too.
I'm Kaitlyn Bristowe. I'll see you next Tuesday. See you next